All right, hi again. Dane, Jonah Custom Guitars. Where did we leave off at? Okay, so I pulled the strings off of it. This is the 70 to 75 Gibson Acoustic. Pulled the strings off, pulled the truss cover, nut cover off, pulled the nut off, did a little lube on that. But even with the string tension off of it, the neck's still measured with that bow in it. And typically once you release the string tension, you will get some flattening, you know, as that tension goes down, the neck will come back, but the neck stayed where it was. So anyway, what I typically do is something, I took the nut off. I didn't go to all the trouble of actually clamping the neck into a back bow. You see a lot about that online and whatnot. I saw that from Dan early on years ago in one of his videos. I'm not one of his students, although I have watched some of his stuff. Anyway, didn't clamp it, didn't go to that extra trouble. Typically I'll just, you know, bend the neck over the neck support. I have a rather large neck support. I built a few of them. And so, you know, just kind of push the neck flatter, you know, or more into a back bow. Lube the nut, tighten the nut up, you know, and as I tighten it, you can push it down. This happens to be one of the typical Gibson acorn nuts, so I was able to use my trusty, where am I at? There you go, trusty wrench. So you can put it on the nut and actually keep your hand on that while you're pushing down on this without putting a lot of stress anywhere detrimental. So the neck is flat now. Okay, so when I put string tension back on it, it should pull it up just a tad of a relief, and if it's not enough relief, then I'll back the nut off. I'd rather start out with it straight and let tension off the neck with the nut in order to gain that. So I did an inspection on the inside of the guitar. It's, you know, there's no loose braces. I'm going to show you this. I don't know if I can do this or not, and try to see where I'm at in this camera angle. But if you put, for instance, yeah, you can't really see it from there, but that is, I'll use a different straight edge. What I'm trying to show is that it does have some, it is going, you know, in the length of 4 inches. I'm pretty much on the top of the guitar with the front of this ruler. Can you see that? Yeah, anyway, go over here. See? So there's a lot of tip up on the back of the bridge, and so it's bowed up here, it's bellied down here. Oddly, what I found inside is it appears that when they did this bridge work, they took the bridge plate out. Now there again, I already admitted in the previous video, I'm not a aficionado of Gibson acoustic guitars per se. I've dealt with a lot of different acoustic guitars. I've never seen a neck plate, or excuse me, a bridge plate that expand the entire top of the guitar within this X, you know, this pattern of braces. You got a diamond shaped pattern of braces here, and that entire area is covered with a bridge plate. So in addition to the top, normally you have a bridge plate that kind of just fits right into the X bracing, and then you've got a couple extra braces that go, you know, back across. Anyway, this plate is filling all of that space up. And since now that I've gotten the strings off of this thing, this separation in the top here is quite significant. I mean, it's been re-glued and it's stable. But I think what they did was, unless Gibson made all of these guitars with that big of a bridge plate under them, somebody put that in there to support the cracks on the top of this bridge, because there's several cracks running right through here that were fairly significant cracks. So, long story short, my guess is that they added this rather large bridge plate to help support the top. there again, you heard what it sounded like, so I think it has really affected this tone of the instrument at all. So I'm going to go ahead and drill. I'm going to take this end pin out, and then I'm going to drill this half-inch hole through for the new jack pin. Swap batteries out of here real quick. And this will be, once I drill this, I'm done for the night. It's getting around 9 o'clock in the evening. I've already worked my full day plus this. I'm using one of the step drills, and I've done actually quite a few of the bridge transducer type pickups and KK and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, different ones. I've never had one of these bits. I just bought this recently for something else altogether, and had a feeling it was going to work out really nice for this, and it's cutting like a dream. So just trying to get farther away from the camera here a little bit so you can, I don't know if you can tell what's going on or not. This particular bit stops at ½ inch, so I say that I'm going to double check as it spins around here. Yeah, the maximum cut on this is ½ inch. So I just went up to 7/16 or whatever the step was. That was a little bigger than 7. Yeah, 15, 30 seconds. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead through with the half. Going to extend this out a little bit because it wasn't quite deep enough to go all the way through the block. And there we are. All right, so we got that all punched in, and next thing I'm going to do, let's brush off my pad here, is I'm going to talk to the owner about putting in a bridge doctor. I said I make my own. I just geared up here a while back and made a few of them, quite a few of them all at the same time. So if you haven't dealt with one of these things, this is what it looks like. Just an L cut out of a block of wood with a dowel embedded into it, and this screw goes down through the bridge, and then once it's in place, you have the rod here, and you have an adjusting Allen head screw that just screws in and pushes, gives you the tension so that as you push against the tail block, it rotates your bridge back to a flat position, because it's basically going to start out like that, the way this bridge is rotated, and then it's going to pull down on the back of the bridge and push up under the saddle, right? So once I work out whether or not there's enough room to put that microphone pickup in front of this, which is going to end up being out on the leading edge of this, the microphone will be out on the leading edge of this. And since this bridge plate that's under here goes all the way up into the X-brace, to the point of the X-brace, there's plenty of room for that microphone to live in here, slightly ahead of the saddle. I don't think that'll be an issue. But so that's the plan. I'm going to grab an old broken saddle that I've got here that I patched up somewhere, bridge, so I can demonstrate that. Okay, so it was sort of where I thought I left it. And so repositioning the camera just a tad. All right, so take the screw out of here. The way this works is proper orientation, so you can see the strings are here. The saddle would be right here in the slot. This just goes right up underneath the bridge like this in the guitar. I need to back this down a little bit. Okay, so just like that, so you'd drill a hole through the bridge right about where that hole is, although that wasn't a hole drilled for this. This is an old broken bridge I glued back together so I could trace it. Anyway, so it basically sits in the guitar like that. And then since it starts out in an angle like that with the bridge pulled up, as you tighten this rod here, it pushes it down. And that rotates the bridge into a flatter position, which at the same time brings the string height down. So easily, the owner decides he wants to go with this, I could easily bring the string height down by a couple 64ths and really clean up his action on this guitar. That'd put him right in the ballpark. So we'll see what he wants to do with that. Meanwhile, that's it for today. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.